Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing so well. So for today's video, the other day I watched a TikTok and it was this girl using the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer and comparing it to the Tarte Shape Tape. And apparently it is an exact same dupe. The TikTok looked amazing, it looked so good, but I want to try it out for myself to see if this is actually a dupe, because this is so much cheaper than this. You can get this concealer here in Australia from Kmart and it only costs 10 bucks, which is very significant savings. So I'm gonna try it out. I've already done my eyes and my eyebrows, just because I don't want this video to drag on too much. I want it to be very straight to the point. So I'll only be doing my face on camera, but I'm really excited to try this out. So if you would like to see if the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer is an exact dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, please stick around and enjoy this video. So first thing before I get into this video, I do want to mention that the audio in this video may not be as good as usual, because when I went to plug in my mic, I realized that the last time I used it, I didn't turn it off. So the battery died and I don't have time to get a battery today. So this is what we're working with. So I hope it's not too bad. But first I'm going to do my foundation, and because these are quite full coverage concealers, I don't really want to wear overly full coverage foundation. I mean, I've mentioned in previous videos that I don't really like wearing super full coverage foundation anymore. So I'm literally going to be using what I have been using in my last couple of videos, and it is the Nude Sticks Tinted Cover Up Foundation. You can already see I'm like getting into it. But this is all I've been using lately and I really love it. So with my base products, I like to apply a more lighter coverage foundation because I like to add extra coverage with my concealers. So the Shape Tape is perfect for this. So I'll probably zip through this because you've seen me do this so many times. For bronzer, I have been so obsessed with the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer as my previous videos. This is the shade Butter Biscuit. From the first time I used it, I have been so obsessed with this. So I'm just going to use this to sculpt out and bronze my face. So of course, it's cream products before you apply any powder. So I'm going to wait for the blush and highlight. So now it's time for the concealer. I was going to correct my dark circles, but I just want to see how much of my dark circles these can cover. I already know the Tarte Shape Tape will cover, but I'm really excited to see how the e.l.f. one covers. So both of these shades are light sand and they look very similar. I think the Tarte one may be a touch darker, but for the most part, they both look really good. I'm going to apply the Tarte Shape Tape to my right side and I will apply the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer to my left. Here we go. I'm being pretty generous with this, especially since I didn't correct my under eyes. And that is generous for Tarte Shape Tape because it is a really thick concealer. And now I'm going to apply the e.l.f. one. Very similar in application. It may be just a little bit runnier, which I actually quite prefer. So that is the same. I just went and got 2 clean sponges because I want to use a clean one for each side because I don't want to mix the concealers. So I'm going to spray these with a little bit of Fix Plus. I these days prefer to kind of blend it out with a not so damp beauty blender, like just lightly wet. So we'll spray those with some Fix Plus, squeeze them a bit, and I'm going to start by blending out the Tarte Shape Tape. And now I'm going to blend the e.l.f. one. Interesting. I'm going to use whatever's left over on the sponge, just in the center of my nose, my chin, and a little on my forehead. That is the two blended out. I have a very clear favorite already for the fact that I can see it has a little extra coverage than the other. Can you guess what it is? Can you see? I've got the Tarte on this side and the e.l.f. one on this side. What one do you guys think is looking better so far? I'm not gonna lie, I'm very impressed with the e.l.f. one. I love that it is a little bit more of a liquid consistency, and I do think that it has a little extra coverage compared to the Tarte one, because I can see my dark circle a little bit. Not so much with the e.l.f. one. I'm actually so excited about this right now. I can't believe that this one is 10 bucks and it looks so much better. The test though is when I set it. So I'm just taking the sponge that I use for my foundation just to press it in, and I'm just using that to blend in those concealers because they are a little bit too light, but I prefer to go lighter with my concealer than darker. So to set that in place, I'm taking my Laura Mercier loose translucent powder, of course, because would I take anything else? Or would I use anything else? Is not like it. I'm just using that to set as well the bridge of my nose. So while that's setting in place, I'm just going to smoke out my lower lash line just to finish off the eyes. So what I've used on my eyes today is these two Mecca Max, what are they called? They're called Zoom Shadow Sticks. So I've used the shade Metal and the shade Bronze. I applied bronze first, and then I applied metal on top, blended them out, and then I took the Morphe 3502 palette and I just used a couple of shades to smoke them out and smoke it out into my crease. So what I'm gonna do for my lower lash line is I'm gonna take the shade Bronze, this is the shade Metal, and I'm going to smoke it out on my lower lash line. I'm really loving these shadow sticks because they don't dry too quickly, and that's a problem that I found with a lot of ones that I used to use, is that they dry too quickly before I have the chance to blend them. So I'm just taking the brush that I use in my crease and blending that out, smoking it out a little bit, and taking the other brush that I used in my crease that has leftover eyeshadow, and just smoking that out a little bit more. I'm then going to apply some mascara to my lower lashes, and I'm taking the Kevyn Aucoin The Volume Mascara. So now to dust off the powder, I'm taking my usual Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in the shade One Fair, just on my IT Cosmetics brush, and I'm dusting that off from underneath. That is the Tarte side. It looks really good. And this is the e.l.f. side. Ooh, I had really high hopes for that e.l.f. concealer, but can you guys see underneath my eye? I'm gonna zoom it up so you guys can see. Can you see that texture underneath my eye? It's really only on the e.l.f. side, but not on the Shape Tape side. Oh, I'm sad. I had such high hopes for it because it looked so good. Maybe this is a concealer that you shouldn't bake with, but I have to bake with all my concealers because I do have quite a few fine lines underneath my eyes. Let me just try and dab it with the Beauty Blender, see if it helps. Nope, I feel like that just made it worse. Sad. Okay, so obviously this means Shape Tape potentially is the winner because texture with concealer is a big, big no. I don't know, it looks so good when the other girl did it. Like, she didn't really have any texture on her face. Maybe I should have hydrated my under eye a bit more, even though I literally already did. But what do you guys think? Should I give the e.l.f. concealer another shot? Maybe it's a bad day. I don't know. It was such a good concealer until I dusted off the powder. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish off the rest of my face. There goes eyelash glue all over my floor. Okay, let me finish off the rest of my face. I'm just gonna bronze it up with the JLo bronzer. I've got to start switching it up, but this is literally what's in front of me right now, so it's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna skip the blush for this look. I think it looks good with less on the face because the eyes are so in your face. And for lips, I'm just gonna line and fill in with the MAC Spice Lip Liner. And just in the center of that, just to line it up a little bit, I'm applying the Ofra liquid lipstick in Sao Paulo. Obviously, this has become my favorite. I use it. It's probably like the second tutorial I use it in, or third maybe. So again, I'm going to skip the highlighter, but this time I'm taking, instead of Fix Plus, which is what I usually use, I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Set. This stuff smells amazing. I used it for the first time the other day. And I'm gonna spray this all over my face so it can give me that dewy glow, as well as keeping my makeup in place. I got that setting spray all over my hair, so now it's looking really greasy, but that's fine. We're at the end of the video anyway. So that is the look all done. I love matte skin. Remember how I used to be all about dewy, glowy highlighter? I'm not really about that anymore. But looking up close at, I can't open my mirror. There's still some texture underneath my eye with the e.l.f. concealer. The setting spray did help it a little bit, but there's still texture there. The Shape Tape side is looking as perfect as ever. There's literally nothing wrong with it. Obviously, I did need to correct my under eyes because they are quite a blue tint. So I don't know if it picks up on camera, but just looking in my mirror, I can slightly see it on both sides, a little bit less with the e.l.f. side. So I feel like the e.l.f. has a little bit more coverage. However, the Tarte blended out and set a lot smoother. I'm gonna try it out again in another video. I really had high hopes for this e.l.f. concealer because obviously we all wanna save money wherever we can. How much does the Tarte one retail for? I'm not 100% sure, let me just check. So the Tarte Shape Tape retails for $40 at Sephora. So this is like $30 savings, which is incredible. Listen, I feel like I'm gonna make any excuse right now for the e.l.f. concealer because I had such high hopes for it. Obviously, by this review, the Shape Tape does win. It has blended out and set a lot more smoother than the e.l.f. one. The e.l.f. has a little bit more coverage, but I am still holding out hope for the e.l.f. concealer. So I will be using it again. I'm gonna try it out in another video. I'm gonna try a different method of eye prep next time. Although whenever you're using a concealer, it shouldn't really matter how you prep your skin. You kind of just expect it to be like amazing. But it's a $10 concealer. For a $10 concealer, it has worked amazingly. Obviously the more luxe one wins this little competition. So this is it, you guys. This is the finished look and the end of this review, competition, whatever you want to call it. The clear winner for me today is the Tarte Shape Tape. It's perfect. Like, it literally looks perfect. But as aforementioned, I am going to be giving the e.l.f. concealer another go, another crack, trying different ways of application to see if it was maybe something that I did. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, something a little bit different. I haven't done anything like this in a while. I think the last time I did like a comparison thing was when I did the Fenty and Huda Beauty foundations, like half on each face. and that was a really long time ago. So I really enjoyed this video. I would still recommend that you guys give the e.l.f. concealer a go because it's still pretty good for only $10. And that is Australian dollars as well. So please keep that in mind as well for all my international followers. Obviously the Australian dollar is different. Things may sound a lot more expensive. Like I know in America, the e.l.f. concealer is a lot less. Like I don't know, it's like $5 or something, but somewhere around that point. So yeah, I'm going to end this video here. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Let me know if you would like me to do more of these. And if there are any products that you want me to compare for like dupes and stuff, let me know because I would be really, really keen to try that. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a massive thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.